SHN Live is an online audio and visual production company based out of Austin, Texas that specializes in broadcasting live events. Hi, I'm Carl Schoening, the Director of Broadcasting and co-founder of SHN Live. When my business partner Rob Hipp and I started SHN Sports in 2015, we made our slogan, "Your Team, Your Broadcast," because we envisioned bringing live broadcasting to undercovered sporting events as affordable as possible to schools and organizations. We started out with Georgetown ISD high schools and in 5 years have expanded to 6 states with over 30 affiliates, while also doing production for NCAA teams, conference tournaments, and even the NCAA Division II basketball tournament. In 2020, we rebranded to SHN Live as we provide resources and training for more than just sports. SHN Live is for anyone interested in any kind of online media production. We make broadcasting on our platform free, and we teach our affiliates how to most cost-effectively start broadcasting. If you have a computer, we can teach you the basics of live streaming today. If you become an affiliate, you can put on live streams that look and sound professional once you have collected all of our recommended equipment. And by being an SHN affiliate, we will provide sales support, audio and visual elements to improve your broadcast such as static and motion graphics, access to our Facebook SHN Live affiliates page, and on-demand troubleshooting and tutorial videos. You can also contact Rob or myself for help and we'll get back to you free of charge. Rebranding in 2020, SHN Live started because of one question. Why pay third-party companies hundreds or even thousands of dollars a year for live streaming when you can own your own equipment and put on a professional quality live stream at any time yourself? With SHN's platform, you can control everything from who is on your broadcast to keeping 100% of your advertisement money sold. While SHN will try to sell advertisements with national companies across the network and then give a kickback to participating broadcasts. If you want your broadcast to look and sound the best possible, we recommend getting the SHN Live Academy subscription, where we teach you everything you need to know about online media production. For an affordable monthly investment, you will get a credit towards SHN services, access to monthly broadcasting webinars produced by SHN Live, monthly broadcast critiques, access to advanced SHN video tutorials where we teach fundamentals of broadcasting with experienced professional broadcasters, and how we create our audio and visual elements so you can make your broadcast more personalized, as well as discounted rates for our services such as making those broadcast elements, emergency support calls when service can be available, and enhanced sales support for your broadcast. If you want your events to be broadcast professionally and on your own budget, fill out the form below and we'll get you.
Hi, my name is Rick Kennedy, and I'm running for United States Congress here in the 17th District in Central Texas. Healthcare is far and away the most important issue to the people of Central Texas. And while our healthcare system is incredibly complex, what people want from healthcare is really quite simple. They want access to quality healthcare, and they don't want to go broke or bankrupt trying to pay for it. That's why I support the Medicare for America Act. Medicare for America will provide access to quality healthcare for all Americans. It will provide protection for bankruptcy due to healthcare costs. It will help us rein in the cost of prescription drugs by allowing the government to negotiate prices with pharmaceutical companies, and unlike other proposals, will not outlaw private health insurance.
Simpson Fireworks supports Mexia Black Cat football and athletics. We have items for all occasions, including gender reveals, weddings, 4th of July, and New Year's. For more information and to stay up to date, please visit our Simpson Fireworks Facebook page. Go Cats! Milestones and moments that become memories to last a lifetime. Brandy Garza at Photo Trappings Downtown Mexia is here to capture all of your milestones and moments, offering newborn, children, seniors, family, and special occasion photography. Visit Photo Trappings on Facebook for all the latest specials and mini sessions. Photo Trappings, 115 East Commerce, downtown Mexia. Call or text 254-562-PICS. Mexia Insurance Services proudly supports Mexia ISD, the Mexia Black Cats, and the Mexia Lady Cats. Located at 811 Milam Street and serving the Tri-County area insurance needs for over 30 years with coverages for auto, home, business, life, health, and renters as well as bonds. Call today for a free quote and a review of your current coverage. 254-562-3894. Go Cats!
Big Drip Fashion Hall is now open in Mexia. Big Drip offers a variety of the latest styles of urban clothing, serving boys and men of all sizes from toddlers to 6XL. Big Drip Fashion Hall is guaranteed to meet all of your fashion needs. Come check us out, 1335 East Milam Street in Mexia, across from Hibbett Sports.
Heritage Real Estate LLC, voted by readers of the Mexia News as the best real estate company and best realtor for 2020, is proud to support the Mexia Black Cats. Broker and owner Mitzi Eves, as well as Heritage Realtors Pat Adams and Kelly Lauderdale, are all graduates of Mexia High School. Together, Heritage Real Estate LLC Realtors have over 30 years of real estate.
For over 20 years, Rachel Anderson Real Estate has been synonymous with residential and country lifestyle real estate in Limestone and the surrounding counties. Whether selling or buying, Agent Elizabeth Ferrari can help. Visit ElizabethCFerrariRealtor.com or call 254-747-1602. Real estate market knowledge, passion for helping clients.
Mexia Sports Network would like to send a big thank you to our sponsors. Some may know and some may not know this business is funded by the owner and co-owner. However, we do offer sponsorships during sports seasons. When you sponsor a spot on the Mexia Sports Network, you get advertisement during live games. Also, your sponsorship assists in obtaining shirts for our announcers and equipment that is used to bring you better services. Thank you all to past and present for your support.
If you've not accepted Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, if you've strayed away and are lost, if you need a church to call home and family, please don't put it off any longer. Your next breath is never promised. Visit Pastor James Deichler at Forest Glade Baptist Church, 4277 North Highway 14 in Mexia. He preaches straight from the Bible and never waters down the gospel. Church services are Sunday mornings starting at 10:45 a.m. A church that strives to advance the kingdom of God. Come be a part of this family.
Tonight's game is sponsored by Mexia Sports Network, Greer & Greer Mobile Detail, Woodman Life, Subway, Joe Fridays, Elizabeth C. Ferrari Realtor, and Big Drip Fashion Hall.
brought to you by Eagle Auto Parts, located on Main Street. For more information, visit eagleauto.com. Today's game brought to you by...
Real Estate LLC, voted by readers of the Mexia News as the best real estate company and best realtor for 2020, is proud to support the Mexia Black Cats. Broker and owner Mitzi Eves, as well as Heritage Realtors Pat Adams and Kelly Lauderdale, are all graduates of Mexia High School. Together, Heritage Real Estate LLC realtors have over 30 years of real estate experience, are very involved in the community, and are dedicated to their clients. Heritage Real Estate LLC works with sellers, buyers, and investors for residential, lake properties, lots and acreage, and commercial properties in Limestone, Freestone, Leon, Robertson, Navarro, and the surrounding counties. You can find Heritage Real Estate LLC listings on Realtor.com, Zillow.com, Trulia.com, and many other websites. Call Heritage Real Estate LLC at 254-562-7899 anytime for help with all your real estate needs.
All right, and we are here this week from Black Cat Field in Mexia, Texas, as the Mexia Black Cats prepare to take on the Salado Eagles. Here in week 4 for the Black Cats, it's also the homecoming edition for us tonight. James, again, it's myself, Wallace High, and James Deichler here on the call for everyone. We will be bringing the game to you here shortly. We still have about 20 minutes until kickoff, but we're just going to talk a little bit and go over some things leading up to that time. You know, James, it's pretty exciting here. Homecoming's always a big deal in Mexia. It's not going to be the same atmosphere as you're used to for homecoming on here in Mexia due to the simple fact that the stadium isn't able to go to full capacity, which it usually reaches that around on these homecoming games. But just looking out across the field now, there's already a good number of Black Cat fans in the stands, and we still have a little while before the kickoff happens. Salado traveled well as also, as they have quite a few people over on the visitor side.
And I do believe the game is sold out.
Yeah, for the amount of tickets that they were able to sell for the stadium, they did sell out this week. So You know, big kudos to all those people who are coming out to support each team. You know, last week we were on the call and we went all the way down to Navasota to watch the Black Cats take on the Rattlers, and the Black Cats came out and were pretty impressive during that game. You know, they came out offensively and they seemed to click a lot better than they had the first couple of weeks, and some things seemed like they came together for the Black Cats, and they were able to, you know, put a really good offensive showing out there on the field last week. As well as defensively. They played really well defensively last week, flying around, making plays. You know, and you're going to get a completely different style of football from the opponent this week. As last week we saw Navasota more so in the spread offense with the quarterback handing it or reading and running himself and then throwing a lot more. This week you expect that it's going to be line up, win the war in the trenches, and run at each other.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised after the end of this game tonight with the average of both teams' running yards. I'm pretty sure it might be close to 1,000 yards on the ground. And, you know, sometimes people don't like watching games whenever the offense presents just a straight running game because they feel it's not explosive enough, it's not exciting enough. And that's one thing that threw Navasota off guard last week is Mejia's not one team that's going to come out and throw the ball. And whenever we were speaking with Coach Griffith the other day, the offensive coordinator, I asked him, I said, was that your game plan? And he said, no, we are a running team, but if someone sees something upstairs, then we have to go with it. And I feel that kind of backed Navasota's defense off just a little bit last week.
Right, you know, and you're going to have the same tonight. You're not going to expect either team to throw the ball very much. But, you know, you never know because those coaches are down there for a reason, and they make those in-game adjustments and calls as the game dictates. So we may see some passing. We might just see what we're all expecting and a bunch of running. And in that case, we'll probably be out of here by 9:30, you know. But we do expect for it to be a good, hard-fought, tough game between both teams, you know, with the athletes and the playmakers that Mexia comes out on the field with. And Salado, you know, being in the system they run for several years and being the team that they are and that we've seen from them, you expect for them to be disciplined, well-coached, and come out and play tough. So we are going to say good luck to both teams, especially the Black Cats for us, you know, and we want to see good football. You know, James mentioned that he said that we might have 1,000 yards rushing over the game. And being here for the Black Cats, you know, you kind of hope that the Black Cats have 900 of those.
More of those rushing yards, yes.
So,
and that's one thing about watching a high school football team like both the Eagles and the Black Cats have, that straight we're a first run team. It gets exciting down there.
Right.
And, you know, the ball might not be in the air, especially with the way that the wind's blowing right now. It's kind of blowing north to south right now. I guess we might have that cool front trying to move in. But nevertheless, regardless of the wind, we're going to see a lot of running tonight.
Right.
And Salado kind of has the same repertoire as the Black Cats do.
Right.
They got 3, 4, 5 running backs plus the quarterback who can take it yard if they want to. But that's the thing about the Black Cat defense, watching last week, how disciplined that they stayed against that Navasota defense. I feel that if they carry that momentum into this game, it's going to be a close game. It's going to be a hard-fought game. But I feel with the discipline and the strictness that the Black Cats defense played with last week, they have a very, very great chance of coming out victorious this week.
Right, and, you know, earlier this week when we had our coaches show, that was one of the keys that we discussed is this game's going to be very the most important thing for this game is going to be the point of contact. You know, when that ball snapped, who's being the most physical team in the trenches, which offensive line or defensive line is winning that war up front. And when you have offenses the way both of these teams have their offenses, you want to get that push from your offensive line. And defensively, you want to get a push back so that you can disrupt what's going on in the backfield. So it's very important for Mexia to come out, for their offensive line to come out and really dominate and establish themselves from the very beginning and winning the war up front. getting movement and allowing those backs to move around and do what they need to do once they get the ball.
Yeah, and that's the thing about the Black Cats is the defensive backs are built with speed and quickness. And one thing that I noticed last week was if you look at a running back, most of their yards are yak yards,
right.
Yards after contact. But whenever Mexia was making that first initial contact last week, they might not have tackled them, but they slowed them up enough for that defense to catch up with that runner last week.
Right, and that's going to be important. You hear it so much if you're around football or you're familiar with football. You hear the phrase gang tackle. You want the whole team flying to the football and swarming on whoever's carrying it, and that's going to be important for Mexia because, like you said, it may not be that first guy that makes contact to be the one to bring him down. But if everybody's rallying around, then they can get there and tackle them and limit the yardage that that Salado will be able to get tonight.
Right, and I feel one key tonight for the Black Cats is going to be their special teams. When we get a stop and we punt, we haven't had the chance to see Trey Holman break one yet as a punt returner, but he came close a couple of times last year. I feel it's important that Mexia gets that block on a punt and gives Trey time to recognize his hole and where he needs to go, and I feel that special teams is going to play a big part in tonight's game.
Right, and when you have a game like this where you're matching two tough teams against each other, and you know that possessions are going to be limited, anyways because of the style of both teams. Special teams does play a very big part in the game because you want to be able to make plays there because that may be the defining moment in the game. That could be the difference in field position, giving your offense a chance, or making something big happen in the kicking game and getting points on the board. Whether it be a punt return or a kick return or just field goals. Being solid kicking field goals because we know that games can come down to a couple points, and those are big points that you want to get on the board.
Right, and I did speak with Coach Aber a couple of weeks ago about his special teams, and one thing that I noticed is on their punts, the deep snapper he doesn't lob it, but it's kind of a little bit of a floater to the punter, and that's one thing I wanted to see last week because he said that they've been working on it, and the young man's getting better. And like I told my son, I said, that's probably the hardest job on the football field is a deep snapper making a good snap to his punter. And I wanted to see how effective all of that extra practice had become. But last week we really didn't get to see that because I think they might have punted one time. But that's okay. Hey, I love a game where we don't have to punt. That means that we're doing something good.
Right, and if Mexia doesn't have to punt, then you don't complain about that. But, yeah, I know that they have been really trying to address that. And that's just one area that, when you're coming up, you don't think about, practicing deep snapping. Right. Everybody wants to throw the ball, run the ball, catch the ball. No one thinks that it's important to learn how to deep snap. And, you get into the season and simply, like we said, every week with the lack of a spring, summer, and late summer workouts and practice time for the Black Cats, you jump into the season and now you have to figure out who's going to deep snap, and you're having to teach that while the season has already started. But I think that Mexia, we saw a lot of good things from them last week. I think that they're really working and improving each week, which is what we've discussed throughout the season is what we wanted to see. With the lack of the practice time, you want to see the improvement as it goes because if you're like me and growing up and playing football and playing here in Mexia, going on and playing, you kind of break your season up into different seasons, and you have your non-district time, and that's your first season, and then you have district, and then you have the playoffs. So right now you're in your non-district, your first season of your year, and you're using this time to get yourself ready because we're in our fourth game now. So, we're about to transition into that district portion of the season, and that's when you really want to have everything clicking and really rolling to get through district. And I think the Black Cats are starting to turn that corner and starting to, we talked about it, they're buying in and they're becoming more comfortable in the new offense and running things a lot smoother.
Yeah, and that's one thing that we talked about with Coach V and Coach Griffith, not being able to have that first practice game that they was supposed to have with Rockdale, it kind of slowed them up. But if you've been watching the Black Cats from game one, you could see a great momentum change in their offense and in their defense, especially with their offensive line, who seems like they're starting to get more comfortable with their reads and with their pulls. And whenever they get comfortable and get that push, and that gives your quarterback, Lamar Miller, time to make his reads with his fakes or his handoffs, and gives his running backs time to make sure that they can find that correct hole.
Right. And James, as we're winding down and getting closer to kickoff here in home.
Neighbors and friends, hi. My name is Freddie Greer Sr., and I'm a candidate for Limestone County, Mexia, Texas City Council District 2. For over 20 years, I have volunteered my time, energy, and leadership to serve my community. I'm a proud father and a concerned citizen. I'm approachable, available, and I want to serve as your next City Council member for District 2, and I approve this message.
Hi, my name is Rick Kennedy, and I'm running for United States Congress here in the 17th District in Central Texas. Healthcare is far and away the most important issue to the people of Central Texas. And while our healthcare system is incredibly complex, what people want from healthcare is really quite simple. They want access to quality healthcare, and they don't want to go broke or bankrupt trying to pay for it. That's why I support the Medicare for America Act. Medicare for America will provide access to quality healthcare for all Americans. It will provide protection for bankruptcy due to healthcare costs. It will help us rein in the cost of prescription drugs by allowing the government to negotiate prices with pharmaceutical companies, and unlike other proposals, will not outlaw private health insurance.
All right, and we're here at Black Cat Field as the captains have come out onto the field. Tonight's captain for the Black Cats is number 4, Lamarian Miller, and Salado's captain is number 3, Noah Mexia. The Black Cats won the toss and elected to defer until the second half, which allowed Salado to make the choice, and they have chosen to receive the ball. So Mexia will be kicking from the east end of the field to the west, where Salado will receive, and Mexia will defend the west end zone. As the Black Cats exit the tunnel for tonight's game in their all-black uniforms, we will let them come out onto the field, and then we'll get set for our national anthem, which will bring you courtesy of the Mexia Black Cat Band. So we'll see as both teams are out on the field as they prepare and get lined up for the national anthem. You know, we'll get to see Mexia's defense out first after the kickoff, barring any big plays in the kicking game for Salado, as their offense will come out. And we've talked about it much. The two offenses will be very familiar to each other as they both run the same type of offense. We're going to take a moment of silence here. And now we'll bring you the national anthem as the Mexia Black Cat Band will play, and the flags have already been raised. We expect to see basically mirror images of each team as they come out on offense tonight, as both teams run variations of the slot T offense. And we'll get to see Salado's first, as they've already made their kick return team has already made their way onto the field. Now Mexia's kick coverage unit trots out to the field, and they'll wait for the whistle from the official. As the whistle's blown, the kick team spreads out, and we'll wait to see which kicker sets to kick it off for the opening kickoff. And it will be Martinez as he hits a spiraling kick up the middle, and number 5 gets it, and he gets a good return for Salado out to the 45-yard line.
Yeah, it looked like Xavier Molina came through the middle to stop that big gain, but that was a good run by Salado there.
Yeah, and they'll have really good field position beginning this first opening drive for them, as they start at their own 45-yard line. Mexia's defense is out and set. That time that kick was just kind of spiraling quick, kick up the middle, so it wasn't that high kick we're used to from Martinez, and it allowed the return team to get to the ball and advance it before the coverage could get there. As Salado rushes up to the line of scrimmage, it's going to be a handoff. It's up to 24 as he comes around the edge and then cuts back through the middle for a gain of about 3 on that run.
Yeah, it looked like number 24, Reed Vincent, for Salado, tried to break through the middle, but the Black Cats defensive line was there and ready to stop him. Them linebackers clogged up that hole pretty good that time.
Right, and he was able to cut back that time and get a couple yards before the Black Cats could get there, and I think if he would have kept going the way he was going, he would have gotten hit sooner. As they make their way back to the line of scrimmage, 10 hands off to 24 again, and he's up the middle around the left side this time, and he picks up about 6 yards on that run. It's going to bring up 3rd and 1 here as he crossed midfield, and he's down to the Mexia 46-yard line.
Yeah, he started off to the left there, Wallace, but then all of a sudden he made that quick cut to the right, and that's what opened the hole up for him.
as they're up to the line again quick. Snaps back, handoff up the middle. And this is going to be a first down for Salado as they pick up about 5 yards on that rush.
Yeah, it looked like number 3, Noah Mexia, was the one that ran that.
Yeah, he was just able to get it up the middle and get yardage before a group of Black Cats were able to bring him down. And there was enough for the first down. It's going to move the ball up to the Black Cat 46. And now Salado is in Black Cat territory for the first time tonight. And that time, number 3 was up the middle, and he got met rudely by big Jacob Adams in the middle, and then a couple more guys came to finish him off.
I tell you what, that's one surprising positivity for the Black Cat defense is Jacob Adams this year. He's been a beast on that defensive line.
Yeah, and if he's able to hold up and take on some blockers and make plays, that's great for the Black Cats. As we'll get a handoff again for Salado, and that's going to be a good tackle that time by number 7, Jabrian Busby, along with a couple other Black Cats. But it's going to be a pickup of about 4 on that run. It's going to bring us up to 3rd and about 5 for the Eagles.
Yeah, you're going to probably see a good dose of Vincent and Mexia tonight. The last 2 games, they've kind of earned about 700 yards on the ground from the last 2 games that they've played.
Snap back. Oh, and the quarterback keeps it and boots out. It's going to be a pass, and it's dropped. And that was good defense that time by number 2, Trey Holman, as he was able to get there, defend the pass, and knock it away just as the intended receiver was trying to pull it in. That's going to bring up a 4th down for Salado. Oh, it's going to bring up 3rd down. I'm sorry. The down marker was on 3rd down on the last down. This will bring up 3rd and 5 here for Salado.
Yeah, I think.
No, actually, they just changed it to 4th.
Yeah,
so it'll bring up 4th and 5, and it looks like Salado's going to go for it down inside Black Cat territory. So number 10 takes the snap, and he rolls again to his right, and he's being chased by some Black Cats, and it's an incomplete pass. As I'm not sure who that was intended to, as he threw it into the Salado sideline, and all the jerseys just kind of converged in the same spot.
It looked like Strickland was trying to hit number 80, Logan Pitts there on the outside, but
yeah, Dontavius Daniels was right there on his tail, trying to grab him and get that sack before he could get it away.
And that's been one great addition to the Black Cat defense there.
So that'll bring up 1st and 10 for the Black Cats now from their own 36-yard line. We'll get to see the Black Cats offense for the first time tonight as Lamarian Miller's under center. Be snapped back to Miller. Handoff to Wiley as he falls forward for a gain of about 2.
Yeah, we always say starting off the game, you don't have to automatically hit the home run. You get your presence known there. Let the offensive line start getting their push.
Right, and that time it looked like he had a good amount of space off the right side, and as he planted to cut upfield, his foot just slipped out from under him. As Mexia, we've talked about how quick this game is going to be, and it's quick both ways as both teams hustle up to the line of scrimmage. Man in motion, snap back to Miller, pitch back to Holman, and he's around the right side. And that's going to be a pickup of about 7 yards for Holman. It's going to bring up 3rd and 1 for the Black Cats from right at right at the Black Cat 45-yard line.
Yeah, it looked like the linebacker number 52, Casey Perkins, was able to come around and shed his block to stop Trey from getting that first down.
The Black Cats get their play in the huddle, and they'll break huddle, and they'll hustle up to the line of scrimmage. Miller under center. Oh, we're going to get movement that time. It's going to be movement by the Black Cats.
Yeah, Frankie Smith, he was just ready to go.
He got caught with the Salado defenders were jumping at the offensive lineman that time, and he got a little unsettled, and he came out of his stance, and when you're on the end of the line, it's hard to hide yourself from when you're moving from the line judge.
Right, especially at the beginning of the game. You know, your adrenaline's still pumping. You haven't had time to wear yourself down a little bit.
Well, it's going to bring up 3rd and 6 here for the Black Cats as the ball's moved back to their own 40-yard line. And Mexia has a man out wide. Snap back. Handoff around the left side to Trey Jones. And he runs hard for a gain of about 2-3 yards on that carry. So it's going to bring up fourth and 3 here for the Black Cats, as it looks like Mexia is going to run their punt unit on the field.
And this is going to be an interesting thing to see tonight, Wallace. The wind's starting to die down a little bit, so hopefully with that rugby-style kick, we can get a good bounce and pin them deep.
Right, it's going to be number 2, Rook Brown, back deep for Salado. You know, and one thing, Mexia had a little drive going, and then a penalty kind of stymied it there. And if you're Mexia, you don't want those penalties to put you behind the chains in your offense. It's going to be a high snap. There's not a lot of pressure from Salado, and Davila gets the punt off, and it's a good line drive to number 2. And Mejia's coverage is there. Oh, and he fumbles the ball. And that was number 9, Freddie Greer Jr., who got down on coverage and was able to poke the ball loose. And then it bounced out of bounds as Brown was able to try to get back on it and get it out of the field of play before Mexia could recover.
Yeah, I was watching Freddie run down the field, Wallace, and that's the thing about them quick little men. You know, they can easily slick through somebody that's trying to block them, and he did a great job maintaining his tackle.
Right, and that's going to place the ball at the Salado 30 or 27-yard line here for their second possession of the game, as their offense makes its way out to the field. Mejia's defense is there waiting. They sprint up to the line. There's going to be a handoff up the middle to 3, and he's met by
a whole bunch
of Black Cats, right. But he did gain about 5 yards on that run, so it's going to bring up 2nd and 5 here.
Yeah, if Mexia can get a stop and hopefully for a tackle for a loss here, it would put Salado back into a 3rd and long and make them have to probably try to pass the ball once more, which we've seen our defensive backs have been up to the task.
Hustle up, snaps back, handoff around the edge, and that's going to be enough for a Salado first down there, as that was number 5 for Salado. Caden Strickland, who was the ball carrier on that one, he advances the ball out to the Salado 40-yard line and picks up a first down there.
Yeah, and Trey Holman was standing there waiting on him. He said, that's about all you're going to get here, young man.
Right. You know, just looking out, you know, we said it all along. They're heavy run, and they're just hitting right now. They're hitting Mexia side to side on the run plays. It'll be number 10 up to the line of scrimmage. He hands it off up the middle this time, and that's going to be a good strong run there by number 3. Mexia for Salado.
And it looked like young number 26 Sandals was there to stop him from getting that first down.
Yeah, and he gains about 7 on that run. He brings it out closer to midfield as the ball spotted at the Salado 47-yard line. It'll be number 10 Hutton Hare, who's under center for the Eagles, as they get the play call in from the sideline. They break huddle and rush up to the line of scrimmage. Man in motion, snaps back, handoff up the middle. Oh, and the ball's loose, and it's scooped up. Oh, it's still on the ground. And that ball was knocked out of there by Mexia, and it took about 10-yard carom down to around the 40-yard line, and then Mexia had a chance to get on it, and as the Mexia player went down to get on it, it shot out from under him back to about the 43, where Salado was able to cover it, and that's going to give them enough yardage for a first down there, James, and that's just unfortunate for the Black Cats.
Yeah, that's one of those balls that when it's bouncing around a whole lot, you really don't want to try to pick it up and advance it. Just go ahead and follow on it and give your offense a chance to get on the field.
Snap back, and the quarterback drops the pass. Oh, and he's right. Oh, and he's brought down. And that's Jabrian Busby, who gets in the backfield that time and brings down the quarterback for a big sack.
Yeah, Strickland dropped back to look for number 80, Logan Pitts, there on the left side. But Jabron Busby, he shed that block off the line, and Strickland didn't have a chance to even open his shoulders up to even try to throw the ball.
And Salado sprints up to the line of scrimmage. Snap back, handoff around the edge. Oh, and then the ball carrier is stopped after a gain of about 3 that time.
Yeah, it looked like number 3 for Mexia, Christian Clark, was there to stop that run to give Salado about a 5-yard advance, but it still makes it for a long third down, Wallace.
Right, and here if you're Mexia, you want to get this stop. As things just haven't – you've caused 2 fumbles now and hadn't been able to recover either one. You want to get a stop here and get that momentum swinging your way, as you do have them in 3rd and long, and you know they're not as comfortable throwing the ball. And it's going to be a handoff underneath, and Mejia's defense is there as they stop him for a gain of about 2.5 to 3 yards. So it's going to bring up a 4th down. It's going to bring up 4th and about 4 here for Salado.
Yeah, it looked like John Luna with the slew of Mexia Black Cats was there to.
And they have 2 men in motion that
there
time.
There we go. There's the flag.
And there will be a procedure penalty on that one, as there were flags came out from all the sides on that one, as both of their upbacks went in motion on that play.
Yeah, I saw that, and I kept looking, and
as we look out on the field, Salado makes their way up to the line and handoff around the edge to 24, and he's wrapped up by a Black Cat, and then they're able to bring him down right about the original line of scrimmage as he gained about 6 yards on that run. But it'll bring up 3rd and 10 here for the Eagles.
Yeah, it looked like Jawan Wright made that initial contact there.
Yeah, and he did what you were talking about earlier. He just got held on to him until the other Black Cats could get there to bring him down. And now with 3rd, you expect, they've run the ball. You expect them to maybe try to go through the air to pick up a 1st down here and keep their drive alive. So if you're Mexia, you're going to have I believe that the change in possession is considered just like a timeout. But either way, it looks like we'll have Trey Holman under center this possession as the Black Cats trot their way out, man in motion. And it's going to be a handoff around the side, and that's number 3, Christian Clark, on the carry as he got back to the line of scrimmage for no gain on that play.
Yeah, it looks like number 28 from Salado, Corey Strongland, was able to break through that offensive line and get that stop.
Yeah, and here comes Miller on the field now after he's had to sit out for a play. And he'll bring in the play. The Black Hats will make their way up to the line of scrimmage. And this time Miller will start out in the gun. He'll snap back to Miller. Oh, he keeps it, and he's up the middle, and he's off to the races. Oh!
Hang on to the ball, boy.
And there's a shoestring tackle right there at midfield on Miller, or else I don't think anybody would have caught him as he broke through the line and advanced the ball out. It'll be 1st and 10. Black Hats from the 50-yard line. Snap back to Miller, and he keeps it again. He's hitting the backfield, and he just pulls and dives ahead to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, that was a good thought by Mexia, rushing up to the line to get that snap off, trying to catch Salado off guard. But it looked like he might have slipped a little bit once he pulled the ball out.
And with the amount of rain that we got in town yesterday, the field might still have a little moisture underneath it. But you just want to he did a good job of, even after slipping and getting there, making sure he didn't take a loss on the play. And it's a high snap, handoff around to Holman. He bounces out to the side. He cuts up, and he gets a good gain on that play as he gets down to the Salado 44-yard line. It's going to bring up 3rd and about 4 here for the Black Cats.
Yeah, Trey was trying to go up the middle there, but the hole got blocked, so he did a great job of bouncing it out and gaining about 5 or 6 yards there on that carry.
Right, and that was good patience that time by Trey as he just kind of felt his blockers and waited, and like you said, he got up to the outside to get positive yards. As Mexia gets the play call in and they get up to the line of scrimmage, Miller under center, he'll take the snap, and it's just quarterback sneak this time. And he goes ahead for about 2 yards. It'll bring up fourth and 2 here for the Black Cats.
You feel like this is
This is
four down territory for Black Cats?
You're in positive territory here on the Salado end of the field. You're too far to kick a field goal. I think you say, hey, offensive line, listening, you need to fire off the ball, get a push, and let us go get 2 yards. And it'll be Miller under center, Wiley and Jones in the backfield. And we're going to get a false start by Mexia. And actually we got a timeout call from Mexia. We got a timeout.
For auto, home, business, life, health, and renters, as well as bonds. Call today for a free quote and a review of your current coverage. 254-562-3894. Go Cats.
Big Drip Fashion Hall is now open in Mexia. Big Drip offers a variety of the latest styles.
All right, and we're back here at Black Hat Field. And we have 4th and 2 from the Salado 42-yard line here for the Black Cats as Mexia back at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it looked like number 77, Yvonne Marquez, is going to be guilty of that call.
So that big run there by Wiley will be negated by the penalty, and that'll cost Mexia about 60 yards in field position.
Yeah, but Wallace, you're watching the same game I am, and that should actually be offsetting penalties because, like you said, they just straight up grabbed Wiley's face mask and threw him out of bounds. I don't know how they didn't see that with the ref standing there.
So it'll bring up, and that'll be a 10-yard mark off against the Black Cats. It'll bring up 1st and 20 here. And the ball will be spotted at the Black Cat 9-yard line. Yeah, and that's tough on the Black Cats as you had a big play there and it comes all the way back. It'll be Miller, and he looks to pass, and he throws it out to Clark. And they're not able to connect that time.
Yeah, I think if Miller might have had another half a second there, he would have been able to hit Clark there on the out about the 30-yard line.
And so it'll bring up 2nd down, still 2nd and 20 here for the Black Cats. Still deep inside their own territory as the play comes in from the sideline. You know, and if you're Mexia, you want to try to get some yards here and get yourself away from your own end zone. Snap back to Miller. He hands off to Holman, who cuts it up inside the tackle, and he gets out across the 10-yard line. That's going to be a gain of about 2 yards there as he's spotted at the 11.
Yeah, the Black Cats are trying to run up the middle and run it to the left, but so far Salado's been able to keep their assignments and keep those holes clogged up. But what Mexia needs to do
inside, so Salado will have good starting field position as they'll take the ball here around the Mexia 41-yard line.
Yeah, it looked like he fielded the ball about the 49 and was able to push it up for about an 8-yard gain. But one thing I've seen from these refs so far was
brought down about the 4-yard line, and that's number 5 that time. Lamarian Miller was on the stop. And now Salado's just really going, and they're moving the ball and churning it down the field.
Yeah, this is where we need that bend but don't break defense like we saw last week.
It'll be a handoff right up the middle, and he's hit right at the line of scrimmage, and the running back tried to put his shoulder down to get in the end zone, and Lamarian Miller came out and put his shoulder right into the running back and stopped him at the 1-yard line.
And then nickname him Lamarian the Missile Miller.
And that'll bring up 1st and goal from the 1 here for Salado. And you have to expect that they're going to just try to overpower you and run it in. Oh, and it's a false start that time. And that'll be movement early on the offensive line for Salado.
Yeah, it looked like the right tackle.
And they'll move it back 5 yards, so it'll be 1st and goal from the 6 now. You know, and that's good for Mexia that now they're going to have to go a little farther on this attempt. You know, and with it being 1st down, you have to expect they're going to come at you 3 straight times at least, probably 4.
Yeah, because, I mean, that's what Salado does. That's their forte, just hammer it.
And if you're Mexia, you want to get a stop knowing that you're going to get the ball back in the beginning of the second half. 2 minutes left. Handoff to Rook Brown around the right side, and the Black Cats stop him there at the 4-yard line. It's going to be a gain of 2 there on the run. So
Yeah.
with the clock still rolling at 1:40 left in the half, Mexia's defense, if they can hold big and not allow any points here, it'll set Mexia up in good position to get the ball back before half, or at least know that they're going to get it to start the second half.
Yeah, but the defense got to be careful here, Wallace, because this is where Salado likes to roll the quarterback out and kind of dish it off there towards the pylon.
It'll be a handoff to 3, and he's hit and drove back. And he gets down to about the 2-yard line, it looks like, just out between the 1 and the 2. And that'll bring up 3rd down.
Yeah, it looked like to be about a gain of 2 there. But the Mexia Black Cats defense, they're holding up. They're holding strong.
It'll be third and goal from the 2-yard line, and that clock is still running, and now Salado will take a timeout as the clock hits 50 seconds left in the first half. We'll take a quick sponsor break, and we'll be back with the end of the second half here from Black Cat Field.
If you've not accepted Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, if you've strayed away and are lost, if you need a church to call home and family, please don't put it off any longer. Your next breath is never promised. Visit Pastor James Deichler at Forest Glade Baptist Church, 4277 North Highway 14 in Mexia. He preaches straight from the Bible and never waters down the gospel. Church services are Sunday mornings starting at 10:45 a.m. A church that strives to advance the kingdom of God. Come be a part of this family.
All right, and we're back at Black Cat Field. 50 seconds left on the clock before the half. Salado has the ball at the Mexia 2-yard line. So Mexia's goal line defense is out as Salado makes their way up to the line of scrimmage. Snaps back, handoff around the corner. Oh, and Salado is in for the touchdown. That's number 2, Rook Brown there for the Eagles, as he was able to go off left tackle and walk right into the end zone.
Yeah, he went off left tackle there, Wallace, but then kind of cut in a little bit where he saw a little bit of a gap.
Salado will come out in their field goal set, as it looks like it'll be Rook Brown who's setting the tee to take his steps off to kick and try to convert on this extra point. Snaps back, ball's down. Oh, and the kick is no good. And as time is down to 47 seconds here in the first half, Salado has put a number on the scoreboard first as they were able to drive and score a touchdown on that possession. They were not able to convert on the extra point, so they lead this game 6-0 here as Mexia prepares to get a kickoff from Salado with 47 seconds left. You know, something big could happen in 47 seconds, James. You know, if Mexia can get a big return on this kickoff or get the ball and have something big happen right before the half, it'll set them up going into halftime to come out and get the ball again at the beginning of the third quarter.
Yeah, and that's the thing about UIL football is in short times like this, it can last about 5 minutes because you got 3 ways to stop the clock: a first down, a timeout, or out of bounds. And Mexia's, they've got that quick strike offense where they can make something positive happen before halftime here.
Right, and Mexia does have 2 timeouts left in these 47 seconds. You know, and you'd think if you can get a good return here on the kickoff, it may make the coaches think that they want to try to push the issue and at least get down and get some points going into half.
Yeah, and the thing about the Black Cats here is, you know, I said the one of my key goals was going to be special teams. And whenever you go to block a field goal or extra point, you don't always have to get the ball, but as long as you put good pressure, then it usually diverts the kick.
And here it looks like Brown is set to kick off, and it's going to be a high pooch kick, and that ball is going to be fielded there. Oh, and it's on the ground, and it looks like Salado got it, and that ball seemed like it was about to bounce out of bounds, and then Holman tried to pick it up, And when he didn't secure the ball, and the ball took an awkward spin off of his hand, and Salado was able to dive down on that and get it back. So that's a big mistake there for the Black Cats in the kicking game.
Well, the crazy thing about that, Wallace, is whenever Trey went to go pick it up, it looked like he had an initial possession with it, but his foot was standing out of bounds, so I don't know how the referee didn't see that.
So it'll be first down and 10 for the Salado Eagles from the Mexia 19-yard line with 43 seconds left to go in the first half. Snap back, handoff around the left side. And he'll be pushed out of bounds that time by Miller at the 2-yard line.
Yeah, that's how you see, high school football.
And right now, Salado has seized momentum here from the Black Cats after that touchdown and then the mistake in the kicking game.
Yeah, it usually only takes one simple mistake to make something quick happen for you, and that kind of hurt the Black Cats right now, but I feel that they can recover. We still got a whole nother half to play.
So Salado hustles up to the line of scrimmage. It'll be a quarterback sneak, and he just pushes his way in for the touchdown. And that time, Salado was able to go 19 yards in 2 plays. And the clock still says 33 seconds on it before halftime, as Salado gets set for the point after attempt, as they again line up in their swinging gate formation. And they'll get set to run a play out of it. And there's a man. And the ball's down on the ground and loose. It looks like Mexia has picked it up. And then they'll be tackled there as the conversion will be no good. As the defender was able to get in there on number 2, Rook Brown, and cause him to lose the football. There'll be an unsuccessful conversion there for Salado. So the score remains at 12-0. Salado on top of the Black Cats. As here with 33 seconds left before half, Salado will get ready to tee it off to the Black Cats again. After that quick turnaround with the fumble on the last kickoff, and then Salado being able to score, the Black Cats will look to shore up their coverage or their return team and
with 33 seconds, Wallace, there's still a multitude of time, but it looked like on that whenever the ball hit the ground a while ago, it looked like Trey actually picked it up. But I think he might have been confused of was the ball down, because you saw a pause and then you saw a big motion over there. So I wonder if he thought the ball was down.
Yeah, right there. You're right there on the sideline. You want to make sure you either pick that up or just let it go out of bounds. But that play's over. Now you'll have Salado set to tee it off again. It'll be Rook Brown, number 2 for Salado, placing the ball on the tee. Mexia's kick return unit is out, and they'll come up as they fake the quick kick, and now the kicker will march off his steps from the ball. It looks like he's going to switch sides of the field to kick it to now, and he'll drive it down deep, and that'll be Holman again on the return, and he catches a seam, and he hits a spin, and he's out across the 35 and over to the Mexia 38-yard line, as there was some extra
curricular activity going on after
that play.
But in the past, these past 5 years, these Salado and Black Cat games, they really don't get out of hand, but they do sometimes get caught in their emotions, and sometimes the yellow flag comes out and sometimes it don't. So it's a good job by the umpires and referees making sure that they keep composure on the field.
And here, if you're Mexia, the play clock's down to 5 as they hustle up to the line of scrimmage, snap back to Miller. It's going to be a handoff to Wiley as he runs it up to the 40-yard line. And it looks like, there's 27 seconds left, and we're going to get –
I don't believe the clock started.
And the officials are winding the clock here, and it looks like Mexia will run another play in as you'd have time for another play with a couple timeouts. You may be able to get a couple plays off if the Black Cats hurry up to the line of scrimmage and run this play. Snap back. It's going to be a pass here by Miller, and it's going to be intercepted by number 2, Rook Brown, down at the 30-yard line.
Well, that's one of those passes, Wallace, with the clock running out. You know,
it's the last play of the half. You take a shot down deep, and if they intercept it, then you hope that the clock hits 0. That time it stopped at 1. So Salado will run their offense out for one last play, and if you're Mexia right here, you have to tackle and keep the ball in the field of play without letting them score.
Salado is not one of those teams that's going to come out with 1 second and usually nil it.
So we'll see. They'll either get in the victory formation or they'll run one last play of the half as they run up to the line of scrimmage. It looks like they'll just take a knee, run off the final second of the half. We'll go into halftime with Mexia trailing the Salado Eagles 12-0. We're going to take a quick pause here for halftime. We'll come back and bring you halftime festivities as it is homecoming here in Mexia tonight. We'll take a quick break, give you a word from our sponsors, and we'll be back shortly.
Milestones and moments that become memories to last a lifetime. Brandy Garza at Photo Trappings downtown Mexia is here to capture all of your milestones and moments, offering newborn, children, seniors, family, and special occasion photography. Visit Photo Trappings on Facebook for all the latest specials and mini sessions. Photo Trappings, 115 East Commerce, downtown Mexia. Call or text 254-562-PICS.
Big Drip Fashion Hall is now open in Mexia. Big Drip offers a variety of the latest styles of urban clothing, serving boys and men of all sizes from toddlers to 6XL. Big Drip Fashion Hall is guaranteed to meet all of your fashion needs. Come check us out, 1335 East Milam Street in Mexia, across from Hibbett Sports.
For over 20 years, Rachel Anderson Real Estate has been synonymous with residential lifestyle real estate in Limestone and the surrounding counties. Whether selling or buying, Agent Elizabeth Ferrari can help. Visit ElizabethCFerrariRealtor.com. Call 254-747-1602. Real estate market knowledge, passion for helping clients.
Simpson Fireworks supports Mexia Black Cat football and athletics.
For more information, visit EagleAuto.com. Today's game brought to you by
sponsorships during sports seasons. When you sponsor a spot on the Mexia Sports Network, you get advertisement during live games. Also, your sponsorship assists in obtaining shirts for our announcers and equipment that is used to bring you better services. Thank you all to past and present for your support.
Neighbors and friends, hi. My name is Freddie Greer Sr., and I'm a candidate for Limestone County, Mexia, Texas City Council District 2. For over 20 years, I have volunteered my time, energy, and leadership to serve my
last a lifetime. Brandy Garza at Photo Trappings Downtown Mexia is here to capture all of your milestones and moments, offering newborn, children, seniors, family, and special occasion photography. Visit Photo Trappings on Facebook for all the latest specials and mini sessions. Photo Trappings, 115 East Commerce, Downtown Mexia. Call or text 254-562-PICS.
All right, and we're here at halftime of Homecoming 2020 at Black Cat Field as they continue to announce the 2020 Homecoming Court. We will be here to bring you the name of the Homecoming Queen winner, but as we await that, we're going to bring you some scores from around the area. Right now over in Itasca, they lead the Ranger Bulldogs 14-0 in the third quarter. Riesel trails Bosqueville 33-12 at halftime. The Frost Polar Bears are up at halftime 14-7 over a non-UIL opponent. McGregor is up by 21-20 over a non-UIL opponent there in the third quarter. Ferris leads Farmersville 11-10 in the third quarter. The Madisonville Mustangs are trailing the Lorena Leopards at halftime 29-17. The Rusk Eagles and the Bullard Panthers, who are in our district as well. Bullard is. They're in a tough one over in Bullard, as Bullard is ahead 15-14 at halftime. And then we have the Groesbeck Goats. They trail the Palmer Bulldogs 28-0 at halftime. Robinson and Fairfield looks like they're in a good one over at halftime in Robinson, as it's 21-14. The Rockets lead the Eagles. It's deadlocked at 7 at halftime for the Palestine Wildcats and the Connolly Cadets. Centerville leads Westwood 24-3 there in the second quarter. Hillsboro trails Gatesville 15-9 at halftime. And Mart leads Whitney at halftime 13-7.
So they had a little comeback.
Yeah, that's a close one over there. A good game as Mart's playing up against a 3A opponent. The Midlothian Heritage Jaguars are locked at 7 at halftime with the Paris Wildcats. And as we'll take a break here to bring you the name of the homecoming queen, as they just announced the homecoming queen to be Miss Samantha Samniego. She will be the Mexia High School homecoming queen of the 2020 school year. We'll go back over to some scores here as Miss Samniego is crowned and presented her flowers for being named the homecoming queen. We'll go over to Athens as they lead Wills Point 41-14 in the second quarter. Another district mate of ours, the Van Vandals, are up on the Pittsburgh Pirates 22-0.
And that's not the baseball team.
And then we look at Academy. The Bumblebees are Lago Vista 13-0. The West Trojans lead 21-9 over the Rogers Eagles at halftime. As we continue to go down, Blooming Grove Lions trail the Kemp Yellow Jackets 13-0 at halftime. Italy Gladiators lead the Mildred. The Black Cats are there, and they stop them for a gain of about 2 on that run. That's going to bring up stop there by the Black Cats after about a 2.5 yard, 2 or 3 yards to run. And then they're coming off in there as Salado's just basically handing it off and getting in behind their interior linemen and being patient and then putting their heads down and going forward for yardage. The ball will be spotted now at the Mexia 3-yard line. It'll be second down and goal from the 3 with 1:35 and counting in the third quarter. Salado snaps it back, and the ball carrier is hit, and they're going to blow it dead at the 1-yard line. As Mexia was able to hold up, it'll bring up third and goal from the 1 here. We've seen this before, and they went straight to a quarterback sneak on that play. We'll see what Salado does here. You know, we talked about it with these type of offenses. The possessions are limited, and we're already moving towards the end of the third quarter. Mexia still trailing 12-7. If you're the Black Cats, you want to get a stop. At least limit them to a field goal. If you can limit Salado to a field goal attempt, you can keep this a one-possession game. It'll be a quarterback sneak this time, and that is number 10 for Salado, Hutton Hare, who is able to dive across the end zone in line for a touchdown. And so Salado extends their lead to 18-7 with 43 seconds left in the third quarter. They're in their swinging gate formation. They'll move over into their traditional kick formation for the extra point as Rook Brown sets the tee and steps off for the extra point attempt. We have the snap back. Kick is up, and this time the kick is good. So Salado has moved out to a 19-7 advantage over the Mexia Black Cats. 43 seconds left in the third quarter. We're going to take a quick sponsor break, and then we'll be back with the kickoff.
Big Drip Fashion Hall is now open in Mexia. Big Drip offers a variety of the latest styles of urban clothing, serving boys and men of all sizes from toddlers to 6XL. Big Drip Fashion Hall is guaranteed to meet all of your
attempt that kick, and it'll be marked at the Mexia 24-yard line.
You got to be thinking where these young men's minds are at right now, knowing this coming close to the fourth quarter. Coach Abram needs to take some time to talk to his team, calm them down, and let them know that we still have a whole nother quarter to play to get back into this ball game, which this ball game is not over. They're only 12 points down, and you saw how quick Mexia can score on their offense. All we need is a good possession here and then a great stop on defense, and we're totally back in the game.
It'll be Miller at quarterback, snap back to Miller, handoff to Wiley, and he gets out around the left side, and then he pushes forward, and the whistle will be blown there. And he'll gain about 2 yards there on that run.
Now, it looked like they was trying to have a little bit of extracurricular activities over there, but the refs are doing a great job jumping in early and making sure that nothing gets started. This has been a pretty much clean played game tonight.
Right. You know, we've seen that a couple times, though, after the whistle. There's some pushing and shoving.
Simpson Fireworks supports Mexia Black.
And that's kind of what we saw as this game went on tonight.
Right. And with we'll take the snap.
Snap back to Miller. He keeps it around the left side. And he pitches it, and the ball's loose. Oh, and Wiley picks it up off the ground, and then he's tackled. And then there's some extra pushing and shoving. And again, and the Mexia players are like, we're trying to hold our cool, and they're diving on us and kicking us and stuff, and they're looking and pleading with the official. But they separate the two teams, and they're back to their huddles.
I really don't like to,